16, consider and take appropriate action regarding performance awards for management staff for a period of August 26, 2016 through February 19, 2017, in accordance with Trophy Club Municipal District Number 1, Personnel Policy Manual, Section 7.9. Mr. Rose and Mr. Wilson.
I'll defer to Director Rose.
Okay, I put this on the agenda. It's a continuation of the discussion of correctly compensating or
This is in place of a stipend or a merit?
stipend and all that type stuff.
Okay, so now we're
Because one of the things that was under consideration at the last meeting was to develop a performance bonus. And it turns out that a performance award, which is very close to a performance bonus, is already in the employee manual. So what I've done is I've asked the staff to determine to come up with an amount or amounts that were basically saved during the time period 9/01/2016 through 2/20/2017, roughly 6 months that we were without a general manager, and respecting the fact that the general manager's work was accomplished by the staff to an extent. I would say that they did not accomplish 100% of the work that a general manager may have accomplished, and that the board may not have gotten everything that they would have gotten accomplished had we had a general manager during that time frame. But I think that the staff was very efficient and effective at picking up the additional workload. They spent more hours doing it. I think they were, like I said, I think they were effective in what they did in keeping the operation running. And so I believe that it is the right thing to do to compensate them through a performance award for that work and that effort.
I have a question. I see actual versus budget. So are we saying the actual savings was $72,804, spot 36? I'm trying to figure out what's the relevance of the budget number if that's not actual money saved.
Okay, when Terry and Jennifer was leaving, Terry went in and reduced the budget from Jennifer's 118,000, brought it down, and her salary, she brought it down also.
Okay.
So that's why we figured it based on current year budget versus actual had they been here.
Okay.
So that's the difference.
That's the difference. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
Okay, the other thing, I mean, as I look at this set of numbers that's been provided, I understood that the administration manager's responsibilities were spread out amongst other staff positions when that position left. Is that an accurate?
Was Nicole elevated, though? Wasn't she?
Nicole was promoted to supervisor of utility billing, and she also took on the responsibility of doing accounts payable.
So she took on some of Terry's.
No, Terry did not do accounts payable. I did accounts payable.
So
she
took
took
some
on
of your
accounts
workload.
payable to give me some relief.
And you did something else,
Right.
Terry's job.
Yes, I did
So
much more.
Nicole actually did not Terry's job, but what you were doing was just transferred up to Nicole.
Right.
Okay. So did you make a motion on this? Or?
I will, if you'd like a motion. I move that the interim general manager is directed to divide 80% of the actual savings from the open general manager position 9/01/2016 to 2/12/2017 between the water superintendent, wastewater superintendent, district secretary, and finance manager. The division of funds will be as agreed to by the recipients based on additional workload created by the general manager vacancy and performed by the superintendent, secretary, and finance manager.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion by Secretary Treasurer Rose and a second by Vice President Wilson. Discussion?
I guess one of the things so it would be split amongst who?
It would be split amongst the
Carl, Mike, Lori, and Renee.
water superintendent, wastewater superintendent, district secretary, and finance manager, the 4 managers.
When did the former administrative manager start?
Former or?
Originally,
The replacement to the administration manager.
That was Steve,
November.
February.
November 14th?
Correct.
Yeah, November 14th.
When did Terry and Jennifer, when did Terry and Jennifer leave?
Terry left on August 24th. Jennifer left on August 25th.
I guess I would request to amend that to let the general manager do it at his discretion, because I don't like being overly directive and telling people what to do. There may be others who did something that we don't necessarily see that the general manager may be aware of. And so rather than saying do it to these people, I trust the general manager to look at the staff and make a determination who should be getting what. I don't think that's a board position to do.
Okay?
My only comment is that as I was one of those people, and as an interim general manager, I don't want to be writing myself a check.
That's why I said you would be directed to do it. That's the board saying you will. Because I understand an individual's reluctance to do it.
Yeah, I requested, from each individual what they did above and beyond, and I didn't receive anything. And,
We do have some handouts.
Say again?
We do have some
and
handouts.
it says that a district, general manager, well, Shane was in place as a general manager. We have an interim general manager.
Well, we did not have an interim general manager during that time frame, and it's impossible to deny that the staff picked up
But
additional
Bill,
workload.
At the August 30th of last year meeting, you mentioned the tall pole in the tent. You recommended that Renee take over as interim manager. She was the most qualified. She denied it and said she didn't think she was qualified and they would work as a team. And they worked as a team. No mention of, additional pay or anything like that. They could handle it. That's what you.
No, exactly, and the point I would make at that about the additional pay, I would say that was a error on the board's part at that time. It was a failure in my perspective, it was a failure of action.
I would say this, if we did not think that there were additional duties that had to be done, then we wouldn't be hiring a GM if there wasn't any additional work that had to be done. So I don't necessarily need this. The fact that we're hiring a general manager, contemplating hiring a general manager, to me, proves that there are additional duties that's above and beyond what the management team is doing. So, so there's something there. I really think it just comes down to what we want to do.
So you were talking about an amendment. Didn't get a second, but I'd like to, I'll second your amendment so we get it to discussion.
Okay.
Okay?
What was your amendment?
It was for the acting general manager to issue that percentage of the savings at his discretion, rather than being directed by the board to say it has to be divided amongst these 4 people.
In other words, there could be other people.
There could be other people that that deserves to get a
Impacted.
portion of it,
Okay.
rather than just the 4 that was initially identified.
And,
Okay.
okay,
We're going to vote on this, on the amendment.
okay, I was trying to figure out exactly how I would rephrase it, but I've got a good idea here.
Okay, we're going to vote on the amendment. All in favor of that amendment, show of hands. Director Rose, Director Wilson, all opposed? Director Hayes, myself, and Director Thomas, it fails. Okay, now we're back to the original motion to direct the general manager to allocate the funds, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion on that? I see none. All in favor, show of hands. We have Director Wilson, Secretary Treasurer Rose, all opposed? Director Hayes, myself, and Director Thomas, it fails. Okay.